People are starting to adopt agents.
Yes.
Some of them are succeeding.
Yes.
Most of them aren't.
You take the LLM by the hand and you're like, oh, go fix that. Spec-driven development is something that can save people from that instead of us becoming the accountability sinks and the scapegoats for the nasty code.
Here at PyCon US at the PyCharm booth, and it's my lucky day because I get to talk to Sheena. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Awesome. Hey everybody, I'm Sheena. I am one of the directors of the PSF. I do education and outreach stuff. That's my superpower. I also have my own company. It's called Prelude, prelude.tech. You can look me up. We do all sorts of technical training, so Python advanced training, spec-driven development, which I'm super excited about at the moment. What else? We do teamwork training. So if there's a team that's struggling to team, then we go in and understand and figure it out. We do teacher training and we build edtech. So everything tech and education, that's what I do. And spec-driven development.
And spec-driven development, we'll be talking about. And I highly encourage you, if you're on Mastodon or whatever platforms, follow Sheena, because it's one of those follows that you learn something, and once you meet Sheena, you're like, that's so Sheena. It's like Sheena's sitting in the room helping me and coaching me on this. So let's jump into this. People are starting to adopt agents.
Yes.
Some of them are succeeding.
Yes.
Most of them aren't. What kinds of things are you seeing?
So I think a lot of people try to jump in the deep end a little bit. So like a lot of the time when you hear about agentic engineering, you like if you follow the influencers online, you hear about people doing all sorts of fancy things with like parallel sub-agent teams, and it's like, it's this big thing, and it's actually not easy to get right. People make it sound like it's easy, but it's not. And so if that's your first step and your first introduction is like trying to get that crazy stuff to work on your code base, it's not a good experience. So there's quite a learning curve. And I think like getting through that learning curve it's not obvious. It's not a good path. So there are like all sorts of like spec-driven development type frameworks out there that you can use as like SpecKit and all sorts of things. And like what I've been seeing, or my experience, is that it often makes sense to make your own thing, because the opinions that are baked into these other tool sets are really well thought out opinions. It's great, but it doesn't necessarily translate into your unique and special project. So I think it makes a lot of sense to start from the ground up.
Yeah. And what I think is really interesting talking to you is a lot of us have theories, but you're out there working with actual people and seeing how they're stubbing their toe and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. I think the main thing is really like a lack of a clear path towards success. Like a lot of the things, like once you know stepwise what capabilities to develop, then it's reasonable. Yeah. So like what I've seen work is like, instead of going for like the biggest, coolest solution, like start on the ground level. So like, what can I do to get small things right on my code? Like how can I just get it to fix this function, make that test, small things. You take the LLM by the hand and you're like, oh, go fix that. And then once you can get small things right reliably, like your kind of right, that's appropriate for your project with your tool set, then you're like, cool, how do I get bigger things right? And then you start thinking about like sub-agents. And you need to start thinking about like how to use sub-agents to protect your context window from pollution. Sure. And then eventually you can start saying like, all right, now I can do big things. I can do big things fast. That's the next step. And then it becomes a lot more interesting.
Yeah. We did a spec-driven development course with deep learning, and you said the thing that's like the main thing: aim low, fail low, move in small chunks that don't overload your brain, because at the end of the day, it has to be your code.
Yeah, it's got to be your code. So we just had a fantastic open space at PyCon US that was focused on agentic engineering agentic engineering for like brownfield projects, and all the conversations it was so interesting. Like a lot of the problems that are coming out are to do with human attention and just like how people are struggling to keep up with the pace of the code that is being thrown at them. And my belief at the moment is that spec-driven development is something that can save people from that, instead of us becoming the accountability sinks and the scapegoats for the nasty code. Like if you find the bugs in your specification before it turns into a plan, before it turns into actual code, then it's much more manageable. It's like your human faulty attention can actually work on that scale, and then you blow it out and turn it into something bigger.
Hey, let's dive into that. Spec-Driven development, give me a 20-second of what is it?
I can't do it in 20 seconds. Now I'm counting in my head. Yeah, so it's a workflow where you move through different phases of development with an LLM. So the first phase is typically research. You say like, cool, I want to build this thing, go find out what tools exist and how's my code base and like where might it fit. Next step is you make a specification document, and this is typically a markdown document. People usually use some kind of heavy format for that so that it like really tells the LLM what to do. I personally like to use something a little bit lighter because I'm optimizing for my attention.
Sure.
And then the next phase is planning. So once you got a spec, you build it out into like a do this, do that in this order using these tools. And then after that you implement it and test it. So it's so that's basically it. It's a workflow with artifacts in between.
One of the things that I take away is these things are conversations back and forth with the agent. What do you have, like one thing to remember for these 3 cycles? What's one thing that you really want people to grab onto for spec-driven development?
Review early and often. Like it's the earlier you catch a bug, the easier it is to fix, and that happens in the spec and in the plan. Can I give 2 things?
Yeah,
the next thing is customize, like figure out where things are going wrong and add your own checks.
Make a shoe that fits your foot.
Yes, like make it work for your code base and your risk profile, not something that's off the shelf. Yeah.
Sheena, thank you for everything you do for all of us here in the world of Python and PyCon. All of you, you're probably needing some help, and help is available.
Rock on. Thanks so much.